You know that feeling on payday when your bank account finally looks normal? Like for one beautiful moment, you're not playing financial Tetris with your bills. And then 3 days later you're back to checking your balance before buying coffee. Yeah. That's not an accident. That's a design flaw in how we think about money. And today I'm going to show you why the wealthiest people do something on payday that feels completely backward, but it's the single most important financial habit you'll ever build. My name is Jerry and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart people stay broke. If you're someone who makes decent money but somehow never feels like you're getting ahead, who watches your paycheck disappear into some financial black hole every 2 weeks, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up because we're about to fix that. Here's the thing. There's this productivity concept called "eat the frog" that comes from a Mark Twain quote. The idea is simple. If you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, you can go through the rest of your day knowing the worst is behind you. In productivity terms, it means doing your hardest, most important task first before anything else can derail you. And this changes everything when you apply it to your paycheck. Now look, most people treat payday like a permission slip. The money hits your account and your brain immediately starts spending it. Not even on fun stuff, just life. Rent, groceries, that thing you've been putting off, maybe a dinner out because you finally can. The money flows in and flows right back out like water through a net. And at the end of the month, you're left wondering where it all went. Sound familiar? Here's what most people don't realize. There's a reason why 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck according to a 2023 CareerBuilder survey. And before you say, well, people just don't make enough money, here's the kicker. That same study found that 1 in 10 workers making over $100,000 a year still lives paycheck to paycheck. 1 in 10. This isn't just an income problem. This is a timing problem. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine two people, Sarah and Mike. They both make $60,000 a year, both have similar expenses, both live in the same city. Sarah gets paid, and she does what feels natural. She pays her immediate bills, buys groceries, fills up her gas tank, grabs that thing from Amazon she's been eyeing. Then, if there's anything left at the end of the month, maybe she moves some to savings. Maybe. Mike does something different. The second his paycheck hits, before he does anything else, before he even thinks about his bills, he moves money out of his checking account. 20% straight to investments. Gone. Like it never existed. Then he lives on what's left. Fast forward 10 years. Same income, same city, similar lifestyles. Sarah has maybe $15,000 in savings if she's been disciplined. Mike has over $150,000 invested, and that's being conservative with a 7% average return. Same money in, completely different money out. The only difference? The frog. Now you might be thinking, Jerry, that's easy to say, but I have bills. I can't just hide money from myself. And I get it. I really do. But here's where it gets interesting. You already pay yourself last. You just don't realize you're doing it. Think about your current system. Your paycheck hits, and what happens? Your landlord gets paid first. Your car payment gets paid first. Netflix gets paid first. The electric company gets paid first. Chipotle gets paid first. Your credit card company definitely gets paid first. Everyone gets their cut before you even think about your own future. You're at the back of the line in your own financial life. The wealthy do this backward. And I don't mean trust fund wealthy. I mean regular people who built wealth. They treat themselves like their most important bill. Not in a selfish way, but in a strategic way. Because here's the psychological truth that nobody talks about: money doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't matter how much you plan to save or how much you want to invest. The only thing that matters is what you actually do in the first 48 hours after your paycheck hits your account. There's this concept in behavioral economics called present bias. Basically, Your brain values immediate rewards way more than future rewards, even when the future rewards are objectively better. A study from Princeton found that people would rather have $50 today than $100 in a year. That's a 100% return, and we still choose the smaller amount because it's now. Your brain is wired to betray your future self. This is why waiting to save until the end of the month doesn't work. By then, you've made 30 decisions that all seemed small. $7 here, $20 there, an extra 40 on groceries because you were hungry when you shopped. None of them felt significant. But they add up. And by the end of the month, there's nothing left to save because your present biased brain already spent it. But when you eat the frog, when you pay yourself first, you're working with your psychology instead of against it. You're removing the decision. The money's gone before your brain can spend it. And here's the beautiful part, you adapt. Humans are incredibly adaptable. If you have $3,000 in your account, you'll find a way to spend close to $3,000. If you have $2,400 in your account because you already moved $600 to investments, you'll find a way to live on $2,400. The lifestyle adapts to what's available. I see this all the time. Someone gets a raise, and 6 months later they feel exactly as broke as they did before the raise. That's called lifestyle inflation, and it happens because we don't eat the frog. The extra money just gets absorbed into slightly nicer everything. But when you automate the frog, when that raise triggers a higher automatic transfer, your lifestyle stays stable and your wealth compounds. Let me give you the math on this because the numbers are actually insane. Let's say you make $50,000 a year. After taxes, you're taking home maybe $3,000 a month, give or take. Most financial advisors will tell you to save 10 to 15%. Let's say you commit to moving 15% off the top. That's $450 a month. Sounds like a lot, right? Feels impossible when you're staring at your bills. But here's what that actually becomes. $450 a month invested in a basic index fund averaging 7% annually, which is conservative for the S&P 500's historical average. In 10 years, that's not $54,000. It's $78,000 because of compound growth. In 20 years, it's not $108,000. It's $233,000. In 30 years, you're looking at over $540,000. From $450 a month that you learn to live without. Now look, I know what some of you are thinking. Jerry, I have debt. I can't invest while I have credit card debt at 22% interest. And you're right. Sort of. Here's the nuance. If you have high interest debt, eating the frog means attacking that first. Same principle, different destination. The second your paycheck hits, you're throwing extra money at that debt before you can spend it on anything else. You're still paying yourself first, you're just paying your future financially free self instead of your future wealthy self. The point isn't where the money goes. The point is that it goes somewhere that builds your future before it can leak into your present. Because here's the thing nobody tells you, you will never feel ready to save. Never. There will always be something else that feels more urgent. A car repair, a wedding, a trip, a nicer apartment, a better phone. Life will always generate reasons to spend every dollar you make. The only people who break this cycle are the ones who don't give themselves the option. This is where it gets interesting. There's this study from the National Bureau of Economic Research that tracked the savings behavior of thousands of people over 5 years. They found that people who automated their savings, who set up systems to move money before they could think about it, saved 350% more than people with the exact same income who intended to save but did it manually. 350%. Same intentions, different systems, completely different outcomes. Your willpower is not the problem. Your system is the problem. Willpower is finite. You use it up deciding what to eat, what to wear, how to respond to that annoying email. By the time you're looking at your bank account trying to decide how much to save, your willpower tank is empty and your present biased brain takes over. But automation doesn't require willpower. It just requires one good decision, one time, and then it runs on autopilot. So here's what eating the frog actually looks like in practice. Step 1. Figure out your number. If you're starting from zero, start with 5%. I know that sounds small, but it's not about the amount, it's about the habit. 5% of a $3,000 paycheck is $150. That's 2 fewer dinners out. That's 1 less impulse shopping trip. You can find it. Once you've done that for 3 months and you've proven to yourself that you don't miss it, bump it to 10%. Then 15. Then 20 if you can. Step 2. Automate it the day after payday. Not 3 days later. Not when you remember. The day after. Most employers let you split your direct deposit. You can send 85% to checking and 15% straight to a separate savings or investment account. If your employer doesn't do this, set up an automatic transfer through your bank. Same day every pay period. Before you look at your balance. Before you pay bills. Before anything. Step 3, and this is crucial, make it invisible. That money needs to go to an account you don't check regularly. Not a savings account attached to your checking with a fun little transfer button. A completely separate account. Different bank if possible. An investment account you can't access without actual effort. The friction is your friend. Every extra step between you and that money is another layer of protection for your future self. Now you might be thinking, but Jerry, what about emergencies? What if I need that money? Fair question. This is why you eat the frog in stages. Your first frog is your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account. Boring, accessible, safe. Once that's funded, your frog becomes investments. Index funds, retirement accounts, whatever makes sense for your situation. The destination changes, but the principle stays the same. Future you gets paid before present you can spend it. Here's what most people don't realize. The reason wealthy people seem to have money for everything is because they are not actually spending most of their money. They are living on a fraction of their income and investing the rest. That's it. That's the secret. There's no magic. They just ate the frog early and often, and now the compound growth does the heavy lifting. A person making $80,000 who saves 30% will be wealthier than a person making $200,000 who saves nothing. Every single time. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend this is easy. Especially at first. The first few months of eating the frog feel restrictive. You'll see something you want and think, I would buy this if I hadn't already moved that money. And that feeling sucks. But here's the trade-off, that discomfort is temporary. You adapt. In 6 months, you won't even notice the missing money because your brain has recalibrated. But the wealth you're building? That's permanent. That's compounding. That's working for you while you sleep. There's this idea in finance called paying yourself first, and eating the frog is exactly